My 25F boyfriend, 37M, of 5 years has never told me he loves me. Am I wasting my time? I've told him. But he has a lot of commitment issues. Sometimes I feel like he's holding me back from some milestones, engagement, moving in, making future plans, but on the other hand, we are so happy regardless and I love him. Is this just a super delayed location flag? Update. Jesus, major truth bombs, but I thank you all. I am going to talk to him in the morning and go from there. My hair is pounding out of my chest, but I will try to wait until the morning. Update. We talked this morning. It was enlightening because I felt like I was emotion coaching a child the whole time. He was so uncomfortable. I told him how I felt alone in the relationship and in my feelings. He said he understands. He wishes he was there with me, but can't get there. He said he doesn't want to waste my time. He is sorry. And that the ball is in my court, that he won't leave me, but I will need to leave him and do what is best for me and my mental health. He said he understands and doesn't want me to waste the best years of my life on a maybe. That he likes me a lot, and loves spending time with me, and will be sad if it ends, but that he doesn't want to hurt me. We agreed to bench the conversation for now to make sure emotions aren't so high, I was crying bad, and then bring it back up soon. I'm thinking after the holidays to make that easier. I know I need to leave him. I know I need to move on. I know I deserve better. It's going to be hard, but I believe I can do it. I can leave him. Thank you to everyone for the kind words, harsh truths, and comforting DMs. Update. I will literally reread and reference this thread every day until after the holidays for the follow-up conversation. Thank you so much, kind strangers. Sunk cost fallacy. 5 years is a significant investment. But at this point, you challenge him and he grows up or you move on. There's no middle ground left to play in. He's 37 years old and isn't living with you, engaged to you, making plans with you, or even telling you he loves you. Yes, you are wasting your time. OMG. How many years do you waste with the heading to middle-aged man going nowhere? You are wasting your 20s on this guy. At 37 he is as mature and open to commitment as he is going to get. 5 years is not a delay, leave. Oh sweetie. You're wasting your time and youth. He knows exactly what he's doing by dating you sans feelings, and long-term commitment gets to be vicariously young until you get old, and then he'll trade you in for another model or date the person he's really waiting for. The 8-year gap is still noticeable for now, and that's creepy. Pull out and reevaluate. He was a 32-yo who wasn't ready to date women his own age, so he sought out a young person so he wouldn't have to commit. That's the entire point of being with you. If you keep waiting, he'll eventually move on to someone else once you're too mature and adult-like for him. Cut your losses. I'm curious if anyone is going to point out what a major red flag a 32-year-old dating a 20-year-old is. You were 20 and he was 32 when you met. He sounds like a predator. Sure, 20 is adult. But how mature is a 20-year-old really compared to someone in their 30s? Don't waste your 20s with an old guy fulfilling some teen girl fantasy. Go have fun and live life and meet someone who loves you. I am a 33-year-old man who is as a wheelchair. Will I ever find love? So back when I was 17 I was diagnosed with a tumor on my spine which ended up leaving me disabled, but I feel as if I might never find someone now. I am not ugly or overweight. I earn great money working as a programmer. I have a few hobbies, interests, etc., but I've always wanted marriage and my own kids. I've tried chatting to women and I have had mates try to set me up with women at bars, clubs, but it never goes anywhere. I can usually tell that those women are just not interested in me. I am open to dating women who are in a similar situation as me, i.e. suffering with a physical disability, but I really hope that I can find someone by next year. Yeah, I might be in a wheelchair and take a bit longer moving around, but I still think that I have plenty to offer. I think I'll make a great husband, father. I just don't know where or how to find women. All my friends are married with kids now, but it would be such a dream to experience the same thing. Happy Christmas anyway. I would have no problems dating someone in a wheelchair if they made me happy and were a good person. There are absolutely people out there who will look over your challenges, like any others that people carry, and love you. Good luck XX. Love is hard to find, wheelchair or no wheelchair. A lot of us are struggling to find love out here. Just keep doing your thing and hopefully the right one will come along. I've dated 2 guys in a wheelchair. I asked them both out. You'll find someone. Hugging face. Don't give up. I'm in a chair as well, and though much older, I have done okay. It's harder, and no matter what they might say to your face, Most women will not give you the same chance as your able-bodied brethren. But enough will, and that is what matters most. A friend of mine, also in a chair, married the sweetest and most beautiful woman I've ever known. So, it happens. I am also married to a beautiful woman, and though not an idyllic union, we have kept the dream alive over 26 years. Plenty of people with disabilities are in happy relationships. If you're a good person, a good friend and partner, someone people want to be around, then the chair won't be a problem. There's a shit ton of ableism out there, and it fucking sucks. I can't speak for anyone else, but personally, using a wheelchair, or any other mobility aid, would not affect my opinion about a person. A man with a good job, who wants to marry and raise kids, is a very special person, who many women would want to know. What else is special or interesting about you? Don't lose your faith. You will find your partner. I am sure there will be a woman who will fall in love with you. As you said before, you are a man with many things to offer, and you must look for a woman who has many things to offer to you, too. My girlfriend just told me she's hanging out with friends on Nye. So my girlfriend, 26 female, and I, 34 male, are visiting Berlin for a month. I worked for the first week and I took PTO for the last 2 weeks of the year, the weeks of Christmas and New Year's. This is my first time here, but she's been here quite a bit and has friends scattered throughout the country. She just told me that she's going to spend like a week with friends in a cabin for Nye, 12/29 1/5. I'm not invited. She told me when we were planning the trip that she was invited to go do this, but I said that would be shitty and I wouldn't want to go on the trip if I was going to have to spend a week by myself in a country where I don't know anyone, and I definitely wouldn't have taken PTO. When we decided to book the trip I assumed that was off the table, but I guess not. I'm not sure what to do now. Any advice? Update. We talked about it quite a bit yesterday, last night, and ultimately she decided to skip the cabin and spend Nye with me. We compromised that she will go hang with some friends for a few days towards the end of the trip when I'm planning to work anyway. And just to nip this in the bud, looking at you 40% of relationship_advice. No, these friends are not her ex-BF, real BF, or next boyfriend laughing my ass off. That's insanely rude of her. I'd spend the extra money on a plane ticket and return home early. Tell her or not. I personally wouldn't, though. Let her fly back by herself once she's done hanging out with her friends. Then dump her ass. That's not a girlfriend, that's a girlfriend. Maybe use that time to find what you want. You have different expectations for your relationship. I find her ways very rude, but that's just me and my boundaries. I'd move on from the relationship and fly back to wherever your friends, family live and have a good time during the holidays. While there's a chance you'll have fun on your own in Berlin, it's a more romanticized version of what is likely going to happen. You on your own, crying yourself to sleep after drinking alone. Run. Does she even like you? Why aren't you invited? This makes no sense. I would be hurt, frustrated and confused. She is not as invested in your relationship as you are. Break up and move on. Relationships are about compromise and putting your relationship and partner first. Fly home. Pack her stuff if you live together. Break up and find you somebody that deserves you. Good luck and keep us updated. Leave her. Honestly, I am just gonna give you the usual Reddit advice. Dump the bitch. Yeah, I'm going to say I would not stay in a relationship with this woman. I'm going to say 99% sure that there's someone at that cabin she wants to be with more than you, and even not, she doesn't care about you at all. How do I tell my stepmom that I want to call her mom after I acted like such a brat as a teen? I 21, lost my mother at the age of 5 due to complications in my brother's birth. I was put into therapy around that time to cope with the loss, and my dad stayed single until I was 10 when he met Nancy. My father told me when he started dating as he didn't want to surprise me, and I was okay with it. I missed my mother, but it must have been worse for my father back then raising us alone. He introduced us to her and she was nice. She wasn't pushy or anything and was just interested in our hobbies. I actually liked her. I was expecting one of those crazy women you hear about in stories, but Nancy wasn't like that. She often told us to think of her as an aunt instead of the woman who's dating our father during those early meetups. I was a bit hesitant because my friends always told me those stories about bad stepmoms or dads who become evil when they marry your dad or mom. Well, they got married when I was 16. During that time she really did act more like an aunt or a big sister to me than a mother. My little brother called her mom pretty early on. Since he never knew our real mom, it used to bug me that he was calling another woman mother, and I sometimes got into arguments with him over it, since despite knowing our real mom is gone he still called her mom. I still saw my therapist every once in a while due to the loss. The grief is gone, but I still miss her. She said the reason I was acting out was probably due to feeling like my birth mother was being replaced, which yeah, I did feel like that. Dad was remarried. My brother was calling her mom and Nancy told us she was pregnant with our new sister around that time, so it wasn't a good time for me. I started acting out and being rude to her. Looking back, she never deserved what I did. She never once tried to act like my mother, just a concerned family member. We used to be close when I was little, and just seeing her there in mom's place just felt wrong to me as a teen. I kept pulling away, ignoring my dad, brother and new sister because they were on her side. I was really stupid. Nancy kept trying. She never tried to tell me off for my behavior, but she did punish me, which I used to throw back at her that she's trying to be my mom. After I graduated HS, I started community college until the pandemic made everything crazy. I was living with roommates, my HSBFs, at the time, who I'd rant about my bad stepmom too. They supported me, but they told me I was overreacting. They've met my stepmom and she's not as bad as I made her out to be. I started wondering why they were taking her side. Last Christmas was when I had the realization that Nancy wasn't the problem, I was. I didn't go home for Christmas, both due to the bug but also due to being ashamed of myself. Looking back, Nancy just tried her best. She did the opposite of what I read on Reddit that step-parents do, and I still hated her for it. I haven't been able to see my therapist due to the bug, but I'm gonna go back as soon as I can. I have a lot of apologizing to do during Christmas this year. But how do I tell Nancy I'm sorry? My little sister barely knows me due to how I acted. Thinking back, Nancy was my mom. She was there for my first crush, my first breakup. She did my hair and outfit for every special occasion. She always celebrated my birthday with me by visiting my mom's grave together. I was so afraid of loving Nancy that I treated her like garbage. How do I even begin to apologize or tell her that she is my mother and I want to call her as such? I have a lot of years to make up for. Just print this out and hand it to her. Tell her this. Just what you posted. Put it in writing if that would be easier for you. What you typed here is heartfelt and genuine. My stepkids weren't real nice to me until they got older. It made me really happy when they came around in their 20s. I didn't fault them for the issues when they were younger, and I bet Nancy feels the same. I'm a mom and a stepmom, and I also lost my own mother when I was a kid. None of your reactions have been outside of what is normal for a teenager in your position. You've gotten older, you have had to think about things, and you've come a long way. Just talk to her about stuff. She sounds like she will be open to it. Feel prepared to still be uncomfortable regarding calling her mom. You might never get there. It's okay. Sending you hugs. If you want to apologize for acting as a brat and acknowledge all the good things she has done for you. Frankly, it is kinda expected for teenagers to, well, act out. She signed up for it, so I would believe she isn't holding it against you. Good luck. Send your mom this post and then have a talk with her. It's understandable that you feel bad, but after everything you've described that Nancy has done over the years, do you really think she's going to hold your behavior against you? She's probably been waiting all this time for you to come around. I'm sure she'll be delighted. It'll be a bit awkward to start that conversation, but I'm sure you'll feel a hell of a lot better after you've had it. Good luck. All you have to do is tell her you love her, hug her, and say you're going to start calling her mom from now on. And then when you've both stopped sobbing, you ask her if she wants some tea. Bam, you got a mama. First of all, give her a sincere apology for how you acted. Explain that you didn't know how to deal with all the emotions of losing your mom and then having a new adult in your life, and you struggled with that. Say you're sorry for how you treated her and that you would really like to call her mom and anything else you want to tell her. If you can't tell her to her face, then write her a letter and then give it to her and ask her to read it alone. It's never too late to apologize or to change.